Good evening, YouTube's man already George Page coming to you live on YouTube. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. This is breaking news. If you hadn't heard it yet, you are hearing it right now. The artist known as R. Kelly, or better known as Robert Kelly, had been found guilty on several counts of sexual assault and also racketeering and sex trafficking. And he had his trial. His trial been going on for quite some time, over about a year ago or so, and he was is being held in the state of New York, in Brooklyn, and returned. The verdict was cast, and they he was Kelly was found guilty on one count of racketeering, 8 counts of violating the Mann Act, which is interstate anti-sex trafficking law, and he was accused of sexual exploitation of children, of a child, bribery, kidnapping, and just several other crimes. And it's just unbelievable. Like I said, R. Kelly has been in the news quite some time with his issues. Being as you know, he really is just in trouble right now. And with this many counts, there's a good chance that Art may never see the light of day. You know, he was arrested a while back, for, all of his counts. You have to arrest you, and he was held on bond, but he was set free for a while, and his case was coming up. So he was just trying to make the best of it. Make his music, whatever else. But this is just something really big, and with this guilty fine, it's really something extraordinary about it. Because the fact is, one thing is the racketeering part. People talk about how racketeering is more associated with the mob, but because of the whole sex trafficking thing, and many mob, and criminal organizations use sex trafficking. So it's borderline pretty much, you know, the same thing as racketeering. And with the evidence they had, they built up. I mean, they were really serious. I mean, they had a lot of stuff. And I mean, Art was in trouble. I mean, and as there was no cameras in the courts. I think some New York courts don't have allowed cameras in it. And he had to voice his witnesses and people who pretty much told of the courts, his behaviors, his abuse of young women, and it's just something that's been going on for a while. But some people took a blind eye for it. I can't fault me. I'm almost one of those, because I've been off Kelly fan shit. I can remember, and his people just overlooked the thing of what he was, how to treat women. Even though he made love songs, something like that, he still wasn't the best example of how a man should behave when around women. And Whitney, there's the biggest story we all know is when he married Aaliyah when she was like about 15, 16 years old. And the story goes that Aaliyah saw him in a sex act, so it was the way to shut her up, was to marry her. And he was able to find whatever, some states where it still is legal to marry if at a 15 or 16. And the relationship didn't last that long, even though they broke up, and when she went on her own way. And we all know Leah passed away, so many years ago, and it's still, I think it's still one of the saddest events of the world of the hip hop culture. But R. Kelly, it wasn't that long ago. After that, he was in trouble again, because of a sex tape that came out with him having sex with an underage girl and defecating on the girl. Well, this is the best way of saying. I would say peeing on the girl. And with that case, it kind of just went on for a good while. So eventually, he was found not guilty. And pretty much, this was back in Illinois when he used to live in Chicago. Art's really from Chicago. And he went on, and it's just recently he was on the news where he did the interview with um, Gayle King, about these allegations of sex assault and sex abuse. And, he just really went all out. I mean, it was just sad to see this man who, was, I mean, just, people who are fans of this man, it's just sad to see where he was going down. I mean, and it was just eventually it was going to happen. It was just, his exports, is just was thing that was the big thing to bring him down. I mean, and then all the other women who had accused him of sexual harassment and sexual abuse. He also at one point had like a harem of young girls, and many of them have already fought suit against R. Kelly, for sexual abuse, abuse of minors, and just so many cases got. You just got to think about the civil stuff is just going to pretty much eat away at his fortune, and I think the one people feel the most for is his children, knowing what their father did and where he is. I mean, it's sad. And this man, is, many people had knowledge of it. There's stories of other than just himself, and then people that worked for him, and record companies. And the thing is, they can try to go after them, but the problem is those cases gonna be thrown out because they can say ignorance. They say, we know about this, we know about that. Hey, we just produce the man's music. That's about it. And there's people who still support R. Kelly, who still fans of him. You can't fault that. People, you don't want to see a hero in a bad light, and they still support him, and they're a fan of his music. And, like I say, it's good music. I can't lie. I've been a fan of Kelly since I can remember. But you know what? People who feel like that, like somebody like R. Kelly, should not be, seen as a good role model, especially, with his allegations. And as you know, with the strength of the Me Too movement, just got off of some people. Well, Bill Cosby got out of jail, so but this is another. I think what happened, we trade off Bill Cosby for R. Kelly. that's what happened. But like I said, this movie has been going strong quite some time, and a lot of men of power who were, with allegations of sexual abuse and harassment have fallen down. There's still some out there that hadn't got yet, but it's eventually gonna happen. So now Art has a lot of time in his hands. So maybe he can do like Tupac, write music. But Tupac got out after 2 or 3 years. I don't see his brother get out anytime soon. These are heavy charges. There's a lot of this is like borderline mafia charges. The guy when like Rico and all that stuff. When they go after the mob, I mean, he's done. I don't see any silver lining for R. Kelly. Nothing. I think it's sad. This man who had put out some great music, who was seen as a role model, has so much talent, and just, it's just sad to see him just end up like this, and he's going to be a place where, he's not going to be a lot of women. And knowing the system, the prison system, he's going to probably have to be put in segregation because those guys are not a fan of anybody that abuses, especially young girls and women. So, well, tough break, R. My advice, don't drop the soap. It's me all the way, George Page. Don't like, subscribe, don't subscribe. I'm out.